Well, good day, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. So it's going to be an eventful day. I've got people coming to fix the heater, putting in the CO2 monitor, fire detectors, all of those things that should have been done by Manny, but didn't get done. So apparently today is a court date that is happening in Tucson, Arizona. Kathy Jo, Tommy Arduin, and Tim are all there. They were made. Hi, Robin Hood. They were made to have testing done for the AIDS. Now, all of these people held off on going to the doctor because they needed this narrative to stick. So they sent people to have sex with me, to give me the HIV. They sent people to grape me, to give me HIV. When none of that worked, because I'm obviously not like these people. I just don't go around sleeping with whomever, whenever. And when none of that worked, then they decided, well, let's just off her. And then that way we don't have to worry about this anymore. But here's the thing that they didn't think about. Even if they had unalived me, there would have been an autopsy, and the autopsy would have shown that I didn't have HIV. And y'all still wouldn't have the frickin' money. Even in a group of people, you're not smart enough to think about things like that, are you? Don't be sorry, but thank you. The only thing that they did was help to wake me up. Wake me up to who they all are, to the family, to the so-called friends. They woke me up. I was always what I am. And when they murdered my mother, they told me when I was 2 who I was. And then they sent practitioner after practitioner after practitioner, everybody doing magic, keeping me in a low vibe, molesting me, beating me, mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically beating me to keep me from waking up. And it worked. For a long time, it worked. And then 4 years ago, when all of this stuff started happening with Tommy Dean, that's when I woke up. So I'm not giving them credit for it. But had I not gone through this, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I hope you got my message, because it had a hard time going through. So my so-called dad, Dave Emerson, passed away. I believe it was the end of 2019. Right before COVID hit. And Dave had said, for as long as I can remember, that he did not want a funeral. That if these people couldn't come to see him when he was alive, then they didn't need to come and see him when he was dead. And that's what he stood on. And that's what he always told me. Awesome. So my so-called mother, Sandy, and Dale went to the funeral home to set things up to have him cremated the way that he wanted. And when Sandy came back she, after the fact, told me that they did indeed have some kind of a service for him. Nobody told me that. So obviously I'm not there because I didn't know anything about it. As far as I knew, Dave didn't want to have anything. They only did the service to make me look bad. Oh, she didn't show up for her own dad's funeral. She didn't show up. And then went ahead and told everybody that I just took off when I left Grand Junction. I didn't tell anybody where I was going. I didn't say nothing to the family. I just took off. But the thing is that every single person that I came in contact with, whether that be coworkers, family, friends, patients that I had a rapport with at the hospital, my bosses, everybody knew that I was moving to Tennessee, to Hohenwald, Tennessee, because of the elephant sanctuary. I wanted to go to Africa, but everybody kept saying, oh, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. And stupid me, I listened. I listened to all of their reasons why I shouldn't. I listened to all of their stupid, well, if you go there, you're going to get unalived. It's not safe. You shouldn't go there. And then Trista came up with, did you know there's an elephant sanctuary in Tennessee? Sparked, oh, really? All a setup. And then, of course, comes Tommy Dean, the warlock that Sandy got to. And then Tommy Dean got the Masons there involved. And then I moved to Texas. And the Masons in Tennessee had already spoke to all of the other Masons, showing that that man, Bill, when I got to Texas, knew exactly who I was. Oh, I've heard about you. And then finding out that I'm living with a Mason. All set up. Of course, let's not forget about Betty, who told me she'd never been to Tennessee, never been to Hohenwald, didn't know anything about it. It was her first time there, only to find out in like 2012, 2013, something like that, that she had been to Hohenwald, Tennessee, and had the exact same P.O. box of 316 in Hohenwald, Tennessee, showing her now to be the handler that she was. Everybody in it for the money. Must be a hell of a lot of money. Mama, my real mama in heaven, is one of my spirit guides, and she told me that there is an inheritance. There's a trust fund that Sala wanted, and that's why Sala changed her face to look like mine, went to Texas. Willie, the homeless guy, he saw her. He had an encounter with her. And he was really confused when he saw me at the hospital and started talking to me about being from Philadelphia, where I told him no. And then come to find out that the Baptist church there in Trinity was also involved, because the pastor is a Mason, setting me up to be in the place that I was living on the Middletons, on their land, having Barb and Rusty try to poison me with their sprays, turpentine. And then, of course, Randy, who had HIV, who they sent in to try to wound me. This guy was a kid. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. I'm gross. Younger than my youngest child. That might be your thing, but certainly isn't my thing. And now here. Now I'm here. And what's happening? Place I was staying that I thought I was safe wasn't safe. Sylvia, Manny's girlfriend, staying in the same place, gave out pertinent information, as I put in my comments on my last video. Everybody knows Manny and Sylvia are together. Manny was the one who was managing this place. When I first got here, there was nothing wrong with the heater. Then just a few days ago, all of a sudden, it starts smelling like gas. Sylvia called me. They had a plan, but I didn't answer the phone. Because I have discernment. And I know better. I already knew. Sylvia said, I mentioned that I read cards and energies, and I never really read her cards. I just read the energies. So she asked me, she gave me permission, and I read Manny. I knew all about Manny. And I told her about him. She's so far gone, it doesn't really matter. She didn't take anything I said into consideration, which is only to her detriment. Because now she's involved. Rico. Organized crime, people. Do you not understand that? Does that not sink in your head? This is all just a huge organization of people who decided that they wanted money. My money. Money I didn't even know I had until 4 years ago. Sandy, I mentioned, had told everybody that I just took off. Nobody knew where I was. The courts apparently wanted to see me. And her reply was, well, we don't know where she is. But Sandy sent me a box to my house in Tennessee. She knew exactly where I was. I left flowers on her fence the day that I left with a note. Yeah, I did that. I knew that my family wasn't right. They never included me in anything. And whenever I was around them, they made me feel like I was a fifth wheel. I lived in Grand Junction surrounded by my family, and I was alone. So I figured, what the heck is the difference? I may as well go somewhere where I don't know anybody, because that's about how I feel in Grand Junction when I'm around my family. I don't get invited. Nobody talks to me. If I see them, they turn and go the other way, pretending like they didn't see me. And I even got to the point where if I saw Sandy in Walmart and she didn't see me, I'd go the other direction, because I already knew that these people were not right. I left. I didn't take off. I left because that family is a family of criminals. They're criminal-minded. They're evil people. And they worked so hard to set a crappy narrative about me, telling everybody I was a prostitute, telling everybody that I was just a terrible daughter, I was a terrible person, I was crazy. Setting the narrative. And then they told that to the Masons in Grand Junction, that I'm all of those things, and I just took off and I didn't even bother to show up to my father's funeral when I had no knowledge of there being a service for him. I didn't know any of this at that time, and I would have gone if I had known, but they didn't tell me, so that it would make me look terrible. Well, now where's all this narrative? A lot of people have already passed away. Sandy, she's gone. I think Dale is too. Tommy Dean. I had a conversation in meditation the other day, and I got the impression that he was going to do something that was going to either have himself unalived or somebody else unaliving him, because he thought that was going to make me look not right. And now we have Kathy and Tommy A and Tim B all having to prove now that they don't have AIDS, but they do, saying that I gave it to them so that they could continue to steal my money because of some conservatorship that apparently I'm married to somebody. Must be Tommy A, because Jennifer was pretending to be me, had a baby in my name in Florida. The lengths that these people have gone to. Now here's the thing, here's the thing is that these people have gotten away with this so many times before. This is how they make their money. This is how they make their money. This is what they do to people. Insurance scams, Ponzi schemes, get rich quick. David Ames was all about the get rich quick. He wanted to get rich quick. He had all these ideas. Oh, I could do this and that would make me money fast and this and that. I got so sick and tired of hearing his get rich quick schemes. All along, I was the scheme. I was the one that they were scheming, putting insurance out on me, life insurance policies on me, and then trying to have me unalived so that they could get rich quick. And then this whole thing with the inheritance that I didn't know I had. Living off of my money for how long? My kids are 30 years old. So at least 30 years, the Ameses have been living off of my money. And then before that, Sandy and Dave were living off of my money. Never ever to give me anything. Seeing me struggle. Seeing me have a hard time paying my rent, putting food in my refrigerator. I'm sure they were laughing about it. While all the while they're buying new furniture, Dale's buying new furniture, they're getting new vehicles, and I'm sitting here struggling. Homeless. And they all think it's funny. And now, just today, the Masons are like, well, we didn't know any of that. Well, maybe you should have done your homework. And then have the audacity to ask me if I want to join their organization. Are you out of your effing mind? To do what? Exactly what I know that they would do. Get me in that organization and then off me. The way that they do everybody that's gifted. I'm not stupid. And I'm not playing. And my ancestors, I don't need to seek revenge because my ancestors are revenge. They want revenge. I had my bloodline unalived for being witches, burned at the stake, hung, shot, buried in unknown places. My mama. Because we're gifted. We were called witches. Burn her at the stake, she's a witch. Hang her, she's a witch. My gift comes from God. And I don't care what you call it or what you call me. You can say I'm a witch. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm a witch. Because I don't really give two rats' asses what you people think of me. What I know is that my gifts come from God. And I don't care what you call it. It is a God-given gift. So, if you want to call me a witch, then call me a witch. You want to call me gifted? Call me gifted. You want to call me a bitch? Call me a bitch. I don't really care what you think. I don't care what you say. Because nothing that you people have to say and nothing you people think means anything to me. The only thing that means anything to me is truth and justice. And both of those things are here. Now, today. So Tommy, Kathy, and Tim, what now? Because they already have my blood. They already know I don't have HIV or AIDS. When I went to donate my plasma, I gave my blood freely, willingly, and they had it tested. And they weren't thinking things were going to look so good, but then they realized, oh crap, she doesn't have this. And they're saying that she's the one that gave it to them. Well, now that I don't have it and y'all do, what does that show? You're all a bunch of narcissistic freaking liars is what that shows. So now what? Now what you gonna do? Let me tell you. You're going to prison. That's what you're gonna do. RICO crimes, hate crimes, attempted M-word crimes, fraud, and I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's more. There are still things that I don't know. There are details that I don't know. But I do know that there is somebody significant that has all of those details that's still showing too chicken shit to come forward. And you're running out of time. God has shown me now that I have many options for my future. And that what was originally planned doesn't have to be that way. That I can still be and do and have everything that God promised me without you. So it's time to pull up your big boy pants and show up at my door and tell me what it is that you need to tell me. I already know a lot of it. And maybe your spiritual awakening will have you see that you shouldn't be doing things that you might regret. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to forgive you. And I don't know if I want to now. Because I'm being shown that I don't need you in order for me to continue on this journey. I don't need you to be in my life. So if you want to be, then I suggest that you do something and you do it fast, because I am done waiting. I'm done waiting on people. I'm done waiting on this situation. I am done waiting. I want my life back. Let me rephrase that. I want my life to be my life. I want my life to be my life. Me making the decisions for me instead of everybody else making decisions to have my life what they want it to be. I am done with that. It's time. It's time. because I'm not doing this anymore. And FBI, as I have told you, time and time and time again, they will not stop. And if this CO2 thing doesn't show you that, then I don't know what the hell will. Let's get this damn ball rolling and get this done. Because I am so finished with this. Still the kidnapping plans. Plans to get me beat up. Plans to unalive me. Constantly. I'd like to see any other person out there in the world be able to take on and handle this the way that I've handled this for the past 4 years and the rest of my life. There are people wondering how I even lived through this. And there's only one answer. God. God is how I've lived through this. My intuition. Confirmation. Now, I might sound angry. And you know, I'd have every right to be if I was, right? Wouldn't you think? If you had people always after you, trying to do terrible things to you, don't you think that might make a person a little bit angry? What I am is frustrated. I am so frustrated. This thing needs to move. And it needs to move now. All right. I shall catch you all later. And I'm sure there's probably going to be more because now we are at the apex with the court date in Tucson. Apparently my daughter doesn't know about that court date, but maybe she should. Maybe she should know about that. And I don't know who is representing my side of things, and I don't know why I haven't been notified. Well, yes, I do know why I haven't been notified, because they steal my mail. Thank you, Robin Hood. I have no way to get mail. So if anybody wants something to come to me, they need to bring it to my door. Because I have no way to get mail. And the Masons are pretty much all over the post office. There's at least one person in every post office that is either a Mason or works for the Masons, to make sure that people like me, targeted individuals, don't receive their mail. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Please love each other. Love each other. And love yourselves even more. And I'll catch y'all later. Have a great day. Robin Hood, I'll talk to you soon.